Alright, welcome back, and we're here with another review, and this time it's from the Clone Wars Season 7, Episode 10, titled The Phantom Apprentice. And what an episode! This is some of the best Star Wars in the Clone Wars that we have ever had. And guys, it's only 2 more episodes until they say that this is over, but we know, we fans, we're gonna keep on asking for any other episode out there. So let's get straight into the episode. So it starts off on that cliffhanger where Ahsoka is surrounded by Maul's forces, the Mandalorians that are all decked out in his colors. Maul and Ahsoka in the tunnels, and he's asking why she's the one who came. And I like this, how Ahsoka points out that Kenobi had something more important to attend to. And it's funny, it reminds me of the Lego Batman and how the Joker wants Batman to see him as his big bad, and Batman isn't even bothered. So that's just an aside. So basically, Maul wants to know why she is important enough that she's the one who's sent. So after a very short skirmish, Maul gets away with some of the Mandalorians, and Ahsoka is enforced by Rex and the rest. And then Maul captures one of the clones called Jesse and interrogates him to find out who Ahsoka is. And the whole time I was thinking that, Ahsoka was just kind of a general knowledge that she was Skywalker's apprentice, but it turns out Maul doesn't know that much about her. And his annoyance at her and the fact that he felt kind of shunned by the fact that Kenobi doesn't show up turns into a kind of a recognition and a respect for the moment that Ahsoka is the one who has come. And he sees it as a chance to defeat Sidious, who, by the way, he name drops to Ahsoka later on in the episode, to my surprise. And the whole time I'm thinking, okay, you said it. Now let the whole truth come out. Tell us it's Palpatine, and, let's all go off and fight him. I thought that he was just going to get it all out, but he doesn't. And the whole time Maul is, talking about a change that is coming to the galaxy. Even Olmec points out later on, as Bo-Katan and Ahsoka are interrogating him, that Maul had been speaking of the same kind of thing, that he could sense a change was coming. And to my surprise, this episode was more thought-provoking than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be lightsabers going off the whole time, blasters, but no, it was a lot of great dialogue, and Maul, who, by the way, Sam Witwer does a fantastic job voicing. Maul the whole time was using obscure speech. He was speaking in riddles, encoded language, talking about how the whole war was pointless. They were pawns of, Sidious, and he's talking about a change that's coming. And, many of the Mandalorians were trying to understand what he was trying to say, but he wouldn't say it plainly. He just kept talking in riddles, so to speak. But finally, later on in the episode, he does once again just allow Ahsoka and Bo-Katan to find him. He's just sitting there casually in the throne room, and with the distraction of the war going on outside, he gets Ahsoka alone, and he talks to her about Sidious, and who, by the way, she is so interested to learn about. And she wants to know what's going on. They all sense something is happening, and even she acknowledges that Maul's demeanor is one of desperation. Even though Maul does feel like with the change coming, he can thrive in the chaos, and those were his words to the Mandalorians, she does want to know from Maul, who is Sidious? What is it that he was sensing? And now Ahsoka, face to face with Maul, has a new sense of urgency. She needs him to tell her about this Sidious. And according to Olmec, she needs Maul to tell her about the vision he had concerning Skywalker. What was his part in all of this? She needed to know. And Maul starts to lay it out plainly. He tells Ahsoka about Sidious and the fact that there is a change coming to the galaxy, and that the Jedi are over. And the whole time Ahsoka is in disbelief. She thinks she's there to bring him to justice. But no, Maul tells her that all her choices have led her to this moment, and to defeat Sidious, he needs her to join him. And to my surprise, Ahsoka accepts at that moment. He also plainly admits that he had orchestrated the whole situation on Mandalore to lure Obi-Wan, and more importantly, Anakin, to Mandalore to face off against them. But she needs to know. She needs Maul to tell her about Skywalker. What was his part in this? And Maul tells her there plainly, to our surprise, that Skywalker has been groomed to be co-opted as Sidious's new apprentice, and he admits he wants to take Skywalker out, and in his words, he wants to deprive Sidious of his desired apprentice. And Ahsoka totally rejects his offer at the mention of Anakin being any part of the dark side, and she ignites her lightsabers, and at that moment all of Maul's attempts to recruit her fall to absolute pieces. She says she knows Anakin, and from that point all of Maul's offer to have her basically join him, and I think he wanted her to be his apprentice. It takes me back to how he always kept calling Ezra his apprentice. Maul's plan to get Ahsoka on his side falls to pieces, and now they have to face off. And what a fantastically choreographed scene it was. This has been some of the best Star Wars Clone Wars episodes that we have ever had. The animation was crisp, it was on point. It felt to me like live action. Some of the way the shots were placed and the camera placement, if I can call it that, it just looked like a live action movie. And the fight choreography was amazing, as well as the dialogue in the midst of the fight, the little digs that they had at one another. Ahsoka telling Maul about his poor form and how he was lucky that Anakin hadn't come. And also Maul telling Ahsoka that she was arrogant like Kenobi. So they just go off, and the whole time they are surrounded by the Mandalorians outside, taking on one another. It was just so amazing. I loved it. And they have such an amazing fight. And in the end, by the way, Maul does win. In my opinion, he wins the fight, but she gets one over on him in the end as he was trying to, basically cut the bar where she was standing. And she holds him up just long enough for the other clones to capture him. And he, the whole time, is desperately screaming to all of them, telling them of their impending doom. And, in the end, he's captured. But Ahsoka, you see it on her face. Tremendous doubt. She sees something is wrong. So what an amazing episode. Some of the best choreography and animation in the Clone Wars. I do not want this to end. I know there are other episodes. I know that they can make them better. So that's my thought. I love this episode. Let me know your thoughts. I want to keep this short, but this was just fantastic. Great episode. I loved seeing Obi-Wan as well. In the throne room talking to Ahsoka and telling her how they had asked Anakin to spy on Palpatine, and she did not like that as well. So much was going on. I'm very excited to watch the other episodes. There's just so much to talk about, but I'll leave it off here for now. Let me know your thoughts. What stood out to you in the episode? I would like to know it all below. So I would like to thank my Patreon supporters. For my Patreon page, allow me to thank them here. I will thank Gary Adderley, Diane Hawkins, Kristen Rowe, and Scotty Brown. Thank you for choosing to support my channel. And if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, click subscribe. I'd love to see you here again. Also, be sure to check out this channel's Patreon and consider becoming a Patreon supporter. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Have a blessed one.